Hey, good morning, guys. My name is Stephen Gomez with Gomez Media. We are here at the Rise and Win show with my co host J Rock and the producer. Today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Tammi Solis with Social Haus Media, two-time Best of New Braunfels. Take it away.
I've been in social media for a little over 10 years, always doing some sort of marketing. I started my first business in 2014, and it was network marketing, which very much involved selling products on social media. This was back in the long time ago, 2014 was like so long ago now. And it just was a natural progression from there. I became an influencer, content creator after that. And then once I kind of got out of that, starting Social House was the natural progression once I moved to New Braunfels. I'm originally from San Antonio. That's where I was influencer content creating. When I moved over here, I realized that there wasn't much of a creator community here.
Right.
I moved during the pandemic, and I was like, there's no influencers here. Like, coming from San Antonio, where there's a huge influencer community, I'm not sure if that's the proper word to use, if they're still using influencer or not, but back then that's what we were called. So if it's something different now, sorry. But yeah, when I moved here, I was like, wow, there's no community for that. And then I also realized how many small businesses there were here. And even though I was not really wanting to do influence anymore, I felt like I had outgrown it. I was like, I'm willing to bet these businesses could use some help with their social media.
Right.
So again, just a natural segue. And I made a social media post one day in 2022 and didn't think much of it. It kind of just blew up after that, though. I didn't
Nice.
plan that far ahead. I just said, let me just make a post and see what happens. And when my phone blew up, and then, I mean, I guess you could say the rest is history after that, because it just slowly evolved into what Social House is today, which is we are a social media marketing agency for small businesses in the Texas Hill Country. So we do content creation and social media management for small businesses.
So you guys create the content, do the recordings, do it all live in person?
Yes. So our main service that we offer is full service social media management. And with that, we shoot, edit, film, write your captions, post. We pretty much take the task of social media off your plate. We just kind of tell you where to stand in front of the camera and what to do. And then we take it from there. We do the rest for you.
So when you first started, were y'all like using a phone and just trying to be like, what am I doing? Or like, obviously you knew you had an idea of what you wanted to do. Obviously, you're an OG in the game. But a lot of us, like when we first started doing content, we're just using phones. And some people today still use a phone. So how did y'all start with that?
Oh, we still use phones. I will never deny the power of an iPhone. I love an iPhone. I mean, I love it. Yes, now we are sometimes using cameras, but I still love an iPhone. And, since being in social media from the Stone Ages, using like an iPhone 1, it's really
Right.
gotten better and nicer. And so we still definitely use them. In the beginning of Social House, it was only phones. And I made that very clear to like my clients, like, hey, just so you know, and everybody's been okay with it. It's just been now that we've slowly evolved to using better equipment, because I just want to stay moving forward and ahead of the curve. And so now we're kind of bringing camera gear. But I will say this, we've tested it out. Sometimes we'll film with a phone and then we'll film with camera, and 9 times out of 10, the phone content will perform better than a
Really?
camera. Yes. Unfiltered, very super authentic, organic type of content just seems to perform better than this high quality level. I mean, they're so great, right? That's nice. But I think people they just are craving that authenticity and want to see something more just like low key, like what a phone would provide. So
Right.
Yeah, Tammy, have you seen the difference, possibly even like in an iPhone compared to like an Android as well? Has that ever been maybe with your team, like, hey man, who's iPhone, who's Android? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is a great question. You know why? Because within my team, we have a house strategist. But before she was the strategist for Social House, she was one of my content creators.
Yeah.
And she's the only one on our team who has an Android. Shout out Patty if you're watching or when you watch this. We've already there. She would film with her Android, and I would say, I don't like this. I don't like this. But she just loves her Android. She's the green bubble in our group text, which is annoying
It is.
when we're all blue. But I will say this, her Android takes amazing photos, but the video quality I didn't like. It just feels like it has kind of a desaturation to it. So I ended up, after a while, I was like, hey girl, here's an iPhone. You're gonna have to like ditch the Android when you're working here, and you need to use this iPhone. So that's just me. I know people have their own opinions, but I think there's a huge difference in it for sure.
Yeah.
And if you were to see them side by side, you'd know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So.
no, and I've seen the difference a lot. And doing the stuff that we do too, Johnny has always been an Android guy. And myself, I actually was Android first, but then I kind of started seeing what iPhone was doing. And I was like, let me jump on iPhone wagon. So I've been on the iPhone wagon for, I think it's been like 3 years now. But you're correct. The video is a lot sharper. It can be look a lot more cleaner. And obviously as they get higher in, in the number, what are they on, 16 now?
Yeah.
Right, it's
It just
16.
keeps
So
going.
yeah,
It's like
so
the Fast and Furious.
yeah, right. I hear you, man. Pretty soon it's all gonna be about family and shit. But yeah, no, that's awesome, and I think that's what you don't see a lot of people holding a lot of Canons anymore when it comes to that. But quality, I've seen depending on the editing is, I feel, what makes that difference. Do you kind of feel the same way with that too?
Yeah, definitely. And not even just that, the file formats can be a little different, where with hers, an Android will always download it in an MP4 format, whereas iPhones, we have that MOV format,
Oh, yeah.
which is not really a problem. But recently I did run into an issue where I was trying to upload some videos onto our website for our portfolio, and my website was not compatible with the MOV format. It needed to be MP4. So I had to tell the creators, hey girls, I need you to go look. I need these 10 videos re-downloaded in an MP4 format. So that's the difference too. And Android will always have the better format, I guess. But still, I mean, iPhone for me has the better quality, or at least what I would like to see on my clients' feeds. So
Yeah, that's good. What do you edit with as well? Like, what is your main editing on phone and on computer? What would you say is kind of your main edits?
So I'm going to be honest with you. I've been so busy bossing for a while. It's been so long since I made a reel or made a graphic, right? That's more on my creator's side. And for me, what I do with them is I really allow them to have their creative freedom and let them do whatever they want to do when they're editing. So most of them will use CapCut. Most of my creators are Gen Zers. They love a CapCut. They love a TikTok. Even the editing in TikTok is great.
Cool.
The older one, like millennials, I have every generation. I have a Gen Xer on my team. I have millennials and I have Gen Z, and I love that about us because it's nice, well-rounded to have all the generations. The older ones will use InShot. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are kind of the two main ones that we use. What about you?
I'm a CapCut guy.
Yeah.
A lot of DaVinci Resolve. Eventually, I do want to make some sort of like short films or documentaries and stuff. So that's why I kind of want to really learn DaVinci Resolve. I'm kind of on a stagnant right now on a set of like learning right now because of what's going on with work. But eventually, like it has so much that you can do. I feel like when it comes to editing and getting to that, when it comes to short edits and stuff like that, reels, CapCut's my go-to.
Yeah.
It's kind of where it's been.
I was just chatting with somebody yesterday, and I know there's all these AI tools now that can just edit your videos for you. And I'm like, I know I got to stay ahead of the curve.
So how do you feel? I mean,
About the AI?
Yeah, because Steven's right next to you, you
Yeah.
know. So that's the scary part.
Well, my first original thought was, is this going to make my business obsolete? I mean, that was my first question.
Yes.
Like, is Social House not going to be a thing anymore? But I don't know. Like, I think it'll be fine. And now it just feels like another thing I have to learn, but I know I'm going to have to learn it. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. And I also feel like I'm not that smart. Like, I'm like, I don't know if I'm that smart to learn AI. So I'll just have to outsource it, I guess. I don't know how to feel. It's cool.
Yeah.
But it's also scary.
I think the thing that I think about that is like, it's not, and this is just me because I watch so much pro wrestling and documentaries and stuff like that and short videos. I just like the edit of like, somebody's creating that. Have you seen Chit yet? Have you seen the new Chit guy?
No.
No, on YouTube, you gotta look that
No.
guy. He's the guy that's saying, "Do it, lady." You know
No,
what I mean? Never heard
haven't
it
seen
yet? You better
No,
look
no,
it up.
no.
You're gonna love
Okay.
that guy.
All right, I will. I will.
Because he's the next YouTube, I think, guy right now.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is the videos like that, it looks like office like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he's talking, so like zooms in and zooms out, and it shoots to the other guy quickly. But
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean, stuff like that, and you know that that's somebody running it.
Yeah.
And you get a certain feel from that, or even you're gonna get a feel from a certain movie that you've already watched, the way that they show
Mm-hmm.
it, right? So to have AI now do edits for us, I kind of feel it's a little like lazy.
Yeah,
You know
definitely.
what I mean? But
yeah. I hope people like are gonna be able to spot the difference. I know I've been seeing some AI stuff on my TikTok, and I just immediately scroll past because I'm like, I don't want to see it. Like, I know it's not real. It also goes back to what I was saying about cameras versus iPhone. Like, it's too high quality almost for me. I want a more of an authentic feel, and I like how you said it, where it's like shot like office vibes. Like, you can tell there's a real person behind that, and I hope people stay on that. Like, let's keep the real things around, the real people.
So speaking on that, so I also do.
Steven's like, this is my world, damn it.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Let me step in now.
Sorry.
Yeah, hold on, let me get in the ring. Tag me and J. Rock.
I got you.
So I own a marketing company as well, and we are just 100% online, and we create AI software. So in the space that I'm in, I've seen a lot of people doing the AI clones lately, and I can spot that shit a mile away. Now,
What is an AI clone? What are you talking about?
So it'll be like you, like exactly, and it's talking, doing like a little commercial, and people are just like, they don't want to be in front of the camera. They're camera shy. So there's this app that you can create a clone of yourself to create the videos.
Wow.
Which is kind of scary.
And that's what's scary about like even Hollywood right now. Like people are saying like we're not gonna need actors soon.
Yeah, that's
Because
Right.
AI is just gonna be able to do it all. You know what I mean? Imagine somebody out there, just pulling a rock out of, you know what I mean? Like using the rock in an AI shot, and he
Right.
could probably sue him, I'm
Yeah, they
sure.
should.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Or he
yeah.
could be smart and say, hey, I will charge you to use my AI
Because I'm too
clone.
busy?
Yes.
Oh, get the
Think
Come
about it, bro.
on,
Like,
bro.
hey, there's 2 shoots. Hey, I'm going to go shoot this one, but you want me for this movie at this time. I'll sell you the rights to my AI
Oh,
clone.
That's scary, Rennie.
Because then they could do anything they want with your likeness. But didn't they have something regulated for like the musicians where they were not AI is not allowed to take their voice and make songs off of
Oh,
that?
I'm sure that
because
too,
that
yeah.
happened. So
That's the
I feel
exact
like
same thing I feel.
eventually, they'll
Yeah.
do something like that.
That's scary.
But that's
man.
interesting.
Yeah. So, like, with the editing, I have software that I can edit it, but I have an assistant that goes back and, like, double checks everything because sometimes it's not always 100%.
You gotta
like,
humanize it.
Yeah, you still have to have a human in there. And it's funny because my 14-year-old, she gets so mad when we talk about software and developers, because she's really into computer stuff. And she's like, when I get older, I want to do this. And I was just like, baby, I'm building stuff with AI and I know nothing about coding. And it was funny because she was just like, but you're going to need a developer, Dad. Like, you're not going to be able to do it all. And I'm like, watch me. So I got pretty far with this software and then I got stuck and AI could not like fix it. So I ended up hiring a developer.
She was right.
Oh man, this dude.
We're always right.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
this guy was just like on it, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So I recently bought into another company where I'm a partner on a software that we're going to be launching. Well, this guy has a whole dev team, and he's like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you full access to them. And it was hilarious because when I was introducing myself to them, they're like, oh, you use AI? I'm like, bro.
They're already judging you, bro.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. But it was cool because I was like, look at everything I've built. And they're like, okay.
Okay,
I
we
mean, that's
gotcha.
cute. But
That's cute.
yeah, we're gonna take it to another level, in which they do, but with AI, it was able to get so much done faster for them.
Yeah.
So, and I think about that with marketing and content creation, because I had a friend several years ago. She had a business where she would do digital marketing, and she would create like content and flyers and stuff, and she did amazing. And then ChatGPT came along, and people started making their own stuff. And so she's like, "Well, shit."
Yeah.
Or
You know,
Canva. Canva
yeah,
came
Canva
along
was,
too.
yeah.
And that's very user friendly. You can kind of DIY everything.
So, question for you: when you're talking to a prospect, and you tell them, "Hey, how many people do you have on your team?"
7.
So, "Hey, I have 7 people. This is what we do. We've been doing it for a long time. This is our cost." What happens when they say, "Well, AI can do this?"
Well, luckily I haven't had that happen yet, but it'll probably come soon. But I'm not too worried because normally by the time they get to me and they like are wanting to entertain what we offer, they're just so over social media. They don't want to mess with it. They just want to be like, take this off my plate, handle it. I literally just, we're bringing on a new client this week and he was like, I need you to just handle this. And I was like, say less, I got you. So they come to me already at that point where they've tried to
Nice.
do it themselves. They've tried to figure out the AI. They've tried to like whatever. My target market is well-established business owners. So they're usually just so booked and busy that like social media is the last thing that they want to be trying to do themselves because they're so busy. So I think I'll be okay. But I think at one point that will happen and I'm going to be like, okay, we'll go try it and then come back when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I think
I love
also
it.
a big part of that, Tammy, and you might look at this different too, is I love that you are constantly around your team in a way and trying to, obviously build relationships with them. When you start creating an AI to do these jobs and you start knocking them off the table, you're like, man, you're losing people that you've built these relationships with. And I think that's one thing that if I was a business owner in an aspect where I had multiple employees, I think that's where my heart would be like, I really don't want to let a computer do this. Maybe, always actually have a person to kind of do it. But that's the only part I feel would affect me to have a team in that way. Like, I think I really like having people around sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
Because I can tell you right now, the
100%.
stuff that I do and editing stuff, I am stuck at home a lot and things like that. Because technology allows us to do that nowadays, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but in some ways, it's like I'm hardly ever around actual people, though.
Yeah.
So that
No, I
to
get
have
that.
a team that could actually be a big thing, too, right?
100% because entrepreneurship is lonely. It's lonely. There's a lot of times where I have to do things on my own, right, as the boss. But I've always been very team oriented, and I think that comes from my early days of being an entrepreneur and being in network marketing. Because if you guys know what that is, it's like Herbalife. It works, like those kind of team things, and that taught me a lot. I know you can say what you want about it, but it taught me a lot about entrepreneurship. It got my feet wet, and then I just had to have it. I couldn't. There was no other option for me than to be a business owner. But it teaches you to have like a team and build off of team. And so I've always been very team oriented. And to lose that, I no, because it's lonely as it is being an entrepreneur. So I love having my team, and they're so supportive. And I am like a collaborative leader. So in a lot of the decisions I make for the business, I do ask them for their opinion. I do ask them, how do you feel about this? I mean, I still get the final say, of course, but their opinion and how it makes them feel or affects them in their job is important to me. So I always get their feedback. So yeah, I don't want to talk to ChatGPT and ask him what his opinion is.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah,
and I don't want to make AI sound bad, Steven. I'm sorry
Yeah,
over
I'm
there.
just like,
I'm
you're
sorry.
beat
I'm
up
not.
over here.
Yeah, I saw him over there. He was clenching his fist a little bit. No, it's funny.
Just like,
No,
what did I do?
But no. But then there's an aspect of it too, Steven, where like you've been showing me AI, and I'm like, dude, this is a game changer. It's a big game changer,
yeah.
in an aspect
and
of
that's the difference, knowing how to use it, knowing how to utilize AI to really kind of advance you to that next level. So I create little agents, and I'll have one that's like my accountability partner, and I'll tell it like, "Hey, I need to do this week. Remind me, that I'm doing this." Or I'll say, like I always like to say, "Who am I?" like when you're just feeling like beat up and you're just like, damn, like I'm trying, but I just feel overwhelmed. And because I'll do the little voice thing and I'll be like, yo, who am I? And it's like, you're Gomez. And like, he just gaslights me up. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it was actually pretty cool to hear that. The other
yeah.
day.
And
It
I
was
was
pretty
just
Oh,
like,
wow.
okay.
It really.
But I feel like that can be taken to an extreme, though. I just saw a report of this man who was like about to leave his wife for like his ChatGPT girlfriend or something. So it's giving that, Steven. It's giving that. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean,
He
he doesn't argue.
Hey, I think I might need to see what's going on here because I can't even get a regular girlfriend. No, I'm joking. No, hell yeah.
But being able to utilize it in different ways, like honestly, it's opened up a tremendous amount of doors for me with the software. Like just this week, I've had 3 different companies that are like really big, 7-figure companies. They're like, hey, how do we collaborate with you? And I'm just like, me?
What's
Yeah.
the biggest thing you'd say you use it for? Because for me, I mean, the only thing I pretty much use it for is like rewrite this email and make
Boom,
it sound.
that's me too. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
that's pretty
very-
much the limit
I'm
for
horrible
me.
at that. Yeah.
So for me, it's more automating tasks and lead gen. Lead gen was probably my biggest thing because I have a lead gen software. I'm looking for businesses to sell to. Like, so what I'll do is I'll find these businesses and then I have another agent that's a deep scraper. So I'll tell it to go, hey, search this business, tell me where they've like been from beginning to now, what would be their pain points, and how should I go and reach out to them based off the history that you find online. You will be surprised. Like it'll just tell you like who you are, who the business owner is, like everything about them, and then you just tell it, hey, what do you think would be their pain points? And it finds it based off of the material that they found.
Okay.
So I do one. It's called data mining. I'll be like, hey, so I work with a lot of attorneys, in credit repair. So I'll have this thing go and find like all this case law for me, and be able to tell them, hey, yesterday I was with a law firm, and I was showing them a software that can create all their forms for them, like. Because he was just like, yeah, I have a team of VAs that are creating like all these affidavits. And I'm just like, oh, here, which one do you need? Within 30 seconds, I had the whole file done.
Oh, that's nice.
And he was just like, whoa.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
how'd
used
you
it
do that?
for like privacy. Like I just built my website and I needed it. They have to have a privacy policy page and terms and conditions. So I was like, ChatGPT, write this up for me. And it kind of knows me. It knows Social House. So it kind of did that. So I appreciate that.
You can even feed it your website and say, hey, you're an SEO expert. Audit my website and tell me what I need to change to get more views, or what would you see like grade it. And I have a software that does that too. I can just put it in there and it'll give me competitor analysis on what they're really good at and where they could use like improvement. And on that improvement part, it tells me, hey, this is what you could do better.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool. I guess you got to know how to ask it the question.
Yes, absolutely. And that's why I like building the software, because all I have to do is just punch in a website and then press a button and it does it all for me. Now you can do that manually with ChatGPT. It's the prompts.
Yeah.
The prompts is the game changer. You got to know what prompts to use. And that's where with me, with building software and then marketing it to these people that could use that, is a game changer. Now, I have one that creates content ideas for us. So I have a couple of companies that I do content creation for them, like just on their, like I do their SEO, I do their Facebook. I don't like doing that just because to me, it's not fun. because I don't get to meet them in person like you do.
Yeah.
You know, like my client base is 100% online, so I'm talking to them on a Zoom call, you know, and I'm just
See,
like,
where we're
you know,
talking about people, Steven,
Yeah,
where we're talking about people.
exactly.
yeah, and that's what I like about what you guys do is you're very personable, and you're talking to these brick and mortars, and but even the bigger thing is you're talking to companies that are well established. Like I started with companies that were just starting, and it was frustrating. You know, it's just like I get it. We all started
Yeah.
at the bottom, but if they're not motivated to like
Yeah.
be
Yeah, that's
really
been the
hungry,
toughest.
you know, because I do a lot of different things, and I coach business owners too. And I think last year I did over 150. I helped over 150 business owners through coaching, and it was stressful because like there's some of them that are just like, hey, I've been doing this for a minute. I just need to get to that next level. Like I don't know how to, like I've hit a plateau. And I
Yeah.
love those people because they're innovative and they're ready to think outside the box because they've tried all this other stuff. So do you work with companies that are just barely starting as well?
It's very on a case by case basis. When I first started Social House, because I was just kind of like, oh, let me just try this. I obviously didn't know how to run an agency yet. So I started off small, and even my prices were super low. And so I started off with a lot of small fish, people just starting their businesses, you know, not really making a lot of money. But I learned real quick that like either they're not serious and they end up fizzling out after like a month or two, or they just don't have the funds like to afford continuous like social media marketing, which is what you
Right.
need. Social media is a long
That
game. You
freaks
can't
me out,
just
Tammy.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
freaks me out so much that people don't.
they don't
They don't
understand that
understand that
it's
shit,
a
dude.
long game, you know? So that's when I learned real quick that I needed to, you know, change my target market and go for more established businesses if I want it, because I want clients for the long term, because again, social media is a long game. So I want them to commit, and I know once they come into Social House and we show them the service that we provide and, you know, like our products and everything, like they will stay. Most of my clients have been with me for over a year or two or longer. So I know once I can just get them in, but dealing with the smaller fish is not a thing. However, I have worked with a couple of brick and mortars to help them open.
Right.
Like I've done a couple of those, but again, especially in the food and like bar restaurant industry.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you talk to any social media agency owner, you'll know, not all of them, but like across the board, those are kind of the ones that you want to avoid just because their cash flow is not always there. You know, they can have a
Right.
busy weekend and then a slow week, so they don't really have the funds. But I have worked with newer brick and mortars to kind of help them get off the ground. But again, like I'm not having those relationships anymore. So I would take a newer person on a case by case basis, but I just want to be sure that they're serious, and you know, I'll do my best to help them. But
It's very hard to get a client that's just starting out because
Yeah.
they don't look at social media first. They look at my costs, they look at rent, they look at employees, they look at all that before
yeah.
they look at social media.
Yeah. And when things go downhill, like budget wise, marketing's the first to go. So
Yep.
like we're on the chopping
Yep.
block immediately. Hey, sorry, things aren't going well. We're gonna have to stop our services. And that's happened a lot, you know. So I get it, but I'm like, why would you stop marketing if business is bad? Like you should increase your marketing so we
Yes.
can help you get more business. you
You're
know?
letting people know what they got and what they have, how creative they are, whether it's in anything, you know. So let me ask you that, Tammy. Like you said you have a team, right? And you know, obviously you created this social media a business in a way for like obviously it's creativity, right? Do you kind of you said you let your team be creative and all that good stuff. Do you find like, hey, XX, you know, 1, 2, and 3, you're good with this, so you go there. 4, 5, 6, you're over here. Or do they tell you, hey, I really like doing that. Can I just do that job? Like, how does it work out for you to run a team like that? That's always been curious to me.
Yeah. So whenever a new client comes in, I do have to kind of gauge which creator will be a good fit for a client. And I already know, just being from the creator industry and then, you know, watching my girls, seeing where their skill level is at, what kind of content they all produce. So I'll be able to gauge that. Like I'll know, okay, this girl, she does better in a male-driven industry. So I'll put her there. Whereas like this, a Gen Zer probably wouldn't perform well with like an HVAC and a plumber, where this girl will. This girl does very high quality commercial style content. So she needs the more higher level clientele. So I don't never let them choose. Like when I'm ready, like I make the decision and I just say, here's a client I have for you. This is your new assignment. You
Yeah.
take it. And that's where we're at right now. And so they manage that account. But I had a conversation with my executive team. And we talked about like in the future, because some agencies will be like, okay, you film the content, you write all the copy, and you do the posting and the management. Like they separate the tasks. My
Yeah.
team, each girl manages everything within that client's account. So
heck yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and that's how I have it set up right now. I don't know if that'll change in the future because I always wonder why agencies would separate tasks like that.
I'm curious about that too.
But I think it's more when the volume comes. If
Yeah.
you're having if you have 20, 30, 50 clients, then of course your structure might have to change a little.
I'm a part of a team right now that I think there's like 40 of us around the United States, but since I'm in Texas, I'm like very small work with them. Like the other day I had to go to Austin for 2 hours and get footage of Austin because they're YouTubers. So when they travel, they just like, hey, we have Austin footage because we're in Austin. So they don't have to send anybody when they're there. They already have it. You get what I'm saying? Like when they're doing transitions in their videos.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool when I do that. But then there's somebody else that does the editing. And then there's somebody else that does, I guess the wording of everything, depending on what they're needing and stuff. So that's why I was like, I'm curious on how you do that. Because with this group that I'm on, it's
The
just
tasks
random.
are separate.
Very separate.
Yeah,
And it's very random too. So
Yeah, I mean, my creators are very talented and they're very well rounded in what they do. And when we bring any creator into Social House, we have a really extensive vetting processes they have to go through because I have such a high standard of what I want coming out of Social House. And so we make sure that, they're great on creative, but they also know how to copyright, which is caption writing, which is not, especially now with ChatGPT, that can take that off their plate. But the girls know if they bring me something I can see right through it. I know it's ChatGPT. I'm like, no, you need to like humanize it. I don't mind them being a little ChatGPT, but like take off your M dashes, take off the emojis. Like those are a dead giveaway that this is ChatGPT. And I see it all everywhere. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, they're kind of well-rounded. At least for now. Maybe that'll change in the future, how I do things.
that's cool.
I love the way you have that structured. So for me, coming from the military, we were always taught like, hey, you have to know the next person's job, because if something happens to that person and they fall out, like you need to be able to step up and do that. So for your girls to be like an all around, because what if one person just does like this certain type of video and something happens and they leave, and then you're just like, well, that just got thrown out the door because we don't have that one person.
Yeah,
that
in
does
May,
that.
I lost 2 of my like top employees, and I was panicking. I was like, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this? Like, my life's over." One of them was like my right-hand person, but I get like what you said. It's nice that they all know the job because now, hindsight, we're in July. It all worked out and everything's fine, and the the ship didn't sink. Like. So I guess that is an advantage in making sure that they all know because I was able to disperse their accounts to other creators. And I was worried about the transition because anytime you change over creators, there is a slight risk that the business owner could be upset or we might lose them or they'd say, well, I like working with her. I don't want to work with anybody else. So it's always nervous. I'm nervous to do that. But it all worked out hindsight. And I think that's the advantage of it, making sure they all know each other's job.
Yeah, I love that. Like for me, it's just I have an assistant that does a lot of my everyday task and some content creation. And then I have my dev guy that does all the development stuff on the software. But if I lost them, I could do it.
Yeah.
Like I always tell my wife, I was just like, if everything went, downhill and we just had to be us, like I could still perform. I made that mistake several years ago where I had an assistant and I had him just doing everything. And then when he left, I was like, I don't know how to do that, and it cost me a lot. And so ever since then, I was like, I'm all about building a team. you know, if I don't know how to do something, I'll bring an expert in, but you best believe I'm going to learn too.
Yeah.
You know, like I have to know how to do all this stuff. And luckily now AI has helped me learn a lot of that, but I still think you need the human piece to it. Like you said, like with the copywriting, you could tell right away someone writes something from ChatGPT because of all the emojis and just the way it's worded. And like mine, when I do content with it, I have to tell it like, hey, be very humanistic. Talk like it's me talking. And then sometimes my wife is just like, Steven, tone it down. I'm like, my bad.
Yeah. I love it when a client will like tell me that they're leaving our agency and it's ChatGPT written. I'm like, thanks. You couldn't even just write
you
that.
can see
Yeah.
it, you
They're
can
like,
tell.
unfortunately, we're stopping our services. I'm reading. I'm like, this was written by ChatGPT. Like,
Yes.
it almost feels like inauthentic. Like they're like, we love what you did. You know, that it's that sentiment of like, you guys are great. But I'm like, but you didn't write this. So do you really feel like that?
Right,
Are you just
yeah.
trying to soften the blow?
Yeah, just be real. Like,
Yeah.
we know you're going to be back in a couple of months. So.
That's all good, man. So Tammi, I kind of want to get, I want to go back a little bit. Okay. So where does Tammi become this entrepreneur? Like, where did this all come from? Obviously, you know, you've had a start. You're now where you're at with all type of, with your business. Where did this all start? Where did Tammi grow up from? Where did what's her first job, and what got you into social media? You know, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay, so my first job was at Haagen-Dazs Ice Cream inside North Star Mall, which is not there no more. Again, I'm from San Antonio. That was my first job when I was 16. And it was fun. I worked with one of my friends and we would just prank call people all day and serve ice cream. It was so funny.
yeah.
I mean, this is like in the 2000s, right? The best time ever. Before phones existed.
Before you can do, what was it, Star 67? Wait.
Start,
Oh,
yeah,
67
to
to
private
block
block
it.
Right, to
it.
private block, there
We
you
would like
go.
prank
Only
call
the
all our
OGs know that
friends.
one.
Yeah. Kids these days will never know. And then I maybe had a couple of others, but I was really busy in school. I was in the dance team and very focused on school, and I was a good student, so I didn't work too much. And then I met my husband pretty soon after high school, and I don't know I was working at the airport then. That was a cool job. I was working behind the gates of the airport. I worked at a watch place called Swatch. I don't know if you're familiar
Oh, I
with
remember
Swatch.
Swatches? Yeah.
Yeah, I worked there. So that was a really cool job just to see all the people coming and going.
Seen a lot of faces.
Yeah, definitely. On the hard days though, where you like didn't want to be there to see people going on vacation, that kind of sucked.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun job. But then I got fired from there. That was the first time I had got fired. I'm still mad about
Can you
it.
say why they fired you?
Yes, I'm still mad about it. Okay, because I was great. I was like an assistant manager, and they fired me because I forgot to lock the gate when I left.
Oh, no.
And they're like, that's a loss prevention issue. And I'm like, but you're behind security. Like, ain't nobody going to come steal your watches. And so they fired me, and I'm still salty about it till this day. And I know that lady follows me. I'm not going to say any names.
But if you need some marketing, we
But
got
don't
you.
Yeah, I'll hire you and then I'll fire you so I can
Yeah,
get you
for
back.
real.
That's hilarious.
Well, then after that, I got pregnant really soon after that with my daughter, who's now 17. And but I was young. I was 20. And then that's when I knew I didn't want to work because I didn't like working to begin with. And luckily, we were blessed with, my husband went and became a truck driver, owner operator. So he was like, you stay home. Let's, take care of our kids. And so I did that for a really long time. But then I started feeling like, well, I don't want to just be a mom. Like I just knew that there was more to me than just being like a stay-at-home mom, and I could do so much more with my life. I knew I was meant for more.
What age was your kiddo at that point? Like for you to even think that? Like, 'cause
Probably about, let's see. She was already getting maybe 7.
Okay.
So I felt like I was past that point of she wasn't a baby no more.
Yeah,
She was
exactly.
kind of doing her own thing. And then he was always gone. So I'm like, well, I'm getting bored. So I need to do something. And then that's when the network marketing kind of popped off, the whole girl boss thing.
Yeah.
This was selling stuff, and I was like, hey, well, let me try that. I'll give it a shot. I don't know what it is, but I'll do it. And I did that for 3 years, and that was my first taste. So network marketing is it's technically not owning your own business. Like, but they package it like it is,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah,
Because
make you feel that way.
yeah, you're able to build a team, and you lead the team, and you sell the products and all this stuff, and whatever it was, it felt like it was. I was young. I was 26.
This is the Herbalife.
I did. It was
Okay.
called It Works.
It
so
Works,
our
okay.
thing was the wraps. Like you would put these wraps on, and they would make you skinny,
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
right? So
I
I would.
remember that.
Hey, did they really work?
Oh, I would sell those like hotcakes. Yeah, they would work. I mean, it was just water weight, I think, that it would kind of
yeah.
like, it would take your bloat down. But for being a woman, and back then, we were like, we would have these parties. I'd put the wraps on people. I would sell those like hotcakes for real.
What do you mean?
Damn.
What do you mean you throw a party?
So we would call them wrap parties, and like the girls would come over, and we'd put the wraps on them. They keep them on for 45 minutes, and we would measure them before and
Oh,
after,
okay.
and to
Wow.
show them that we could like
So no
legit.
drinking,
Yes,
no eating.
nothing. Yes, and then you're like, okay, for the next 3 days, you got to do this, and I mean, it was like a commodity or whatever. But women were right, like they were jumping on it, right? But there was also health and wellness products. So I did that for 3 years. I was pretty successful. By the time I left that company, I was leading a team of 75 women.
Oh
if you can believe that.
wow, good job. on
Yes,
Dang.
but I mean, it's 75
that.
women.
And I was
Come
about to say that's a lot right there.
Golly, that's
I ain't
why I
saying
left.
nothing on
It,
that.
it was not good for my mental health after a
Imagine all,
while.
imagine all some of those 75 of those women on the same cycle.
Exactly. So I was like, I gotta get out of here, man. This ship is sinking fast. Like I gotta go. So I walked away from it, even when I was still making income. I had to like choose myself. It was one of those choose myself moments. And then it was like a bug after that, because I was like, there's no way I'm going back to working. Like
Yeah.
I love doing this. I love being my own boss and having the freedom and making my own decisions. And then, so I kind of just was like a serial entrepreneur. And then I did get a job for a little bit. And I used my degree, because I do have a bachelor's degree in specializing in accounting. So I worked at an accounting firm for a little bit. I hated every second of it. Every time I was
You
there,
don't
I was
wanna
like,
see numbers all day?
No, I'm just like, but I also was like, I know I can be doing something else. This is not what I meant to be doing. And so I was like, I gotta quit. Like, I gotta just like pursue whatever is calling me. Something's calling to me, and I need to pursue it. And I told my husband, he got into the oil field at that point. I was like, so you're making more money now? Can I quit my job? And he was like, okay, fine. So I did. And then, I don't know. It still took me a long time to get to Social House, but I
okay.
just think once I got that bug of entrepreneurship, there was no turning back for me. It took me 10 years of entrepreneurship to have a successful business, which is Social House. So it's been a long road.
Yeah, no,
and
for
I
sure.
will say this, right before I started Social House, I was ready to just give up being an entrepreneur, because I was like, okay, it's time to throw in the towel. Like, it's not happening.
So and I think this is just like any people. I think I'm about to be on that boat pretty soon of like, man, what do I do next? Or when is something actually gonna, maybe work in a way to where you feel comfortable on all aspects of life, right?
Yeah.
It's not about, if you have a successful business, which this is the one thing I've loved about learning, being around Johnny and the people that he's around, because it's put me around so many more business people that I can sit down, and when I was in the pro wrestling world, I would sit down and I'd shut the fuck up, because I learned my lesson quick in wrestling. And that's what it was. You go to a locker room, you shut up, and you listen to everybody, right? So I learned that in business too. So when I would hang out with Johnny, I'm sitting around watching, listening, and a lot of these people make a lot of money, but they're not happy.
Ugh,
They're upset in their life, or they're depressed in certain areas of their life, and you can hear it. They're sitting here being all jolly, but you can just hear it in the way they talk about certain aspects of it. You're like, they're not happy.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by it. But I see people like yourself really enjoying it. I've hung out with you away from your work, and you seem very happy. You and your husband, love your husband to death as well. He's great. And I think that's what's awesome about knowing that you're there now, right? With that being said, what would you say to somebody from San Antonio, like somebody like yourself was growing, that I feel you've really built out to something, knowing who you are, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to that little girl that's in San Antonio right now? Like, knowing that this takes a process, what would you tell that kid to do to understand, hey, this could happen if you really want it to happen?
Yeah. Oh man. I guess I'd say it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of grit and tenacity and perseverance. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it because you're going to have so much purpose. And this is coming from somebody where I was like, am I just meant to be a mom? Like, what is my purpose? I knew that I was meant for more. And I think that if you just focus on that calling, because it is a calling to be an entrepreneur. You have to feel that call. Not everybody can do this job, but if you feel like that's like on your heart and it's a calling, just stay focused and just be ready for the downside of it all, and know that it's going to come back up again, right? Just in May, I was really down bad. I thought I was going to quit Social Haus. I had a serious conversation with my husband. I was like, things are not working and I need to get off the shit before it sinks. And this was in May. We're literally in July. But in hindsight, I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but like, I'm just a girl. So to me, it was bad. And I was like, okay, I think I'm going to throw in the towel. Like, I'm going to quit. Like, things are so bad. And he was just like, okay. And then like 2 days later, he's like, you're not quitting. Like, I don't care what I have to do. I'll get a second job, but you're not quitting. Like, you've got this far. So I'd also say to make sure you have some sort of support to be there for you in those times. Because those times will happen, but you also got to know they're not going to last forever. They're just a season. They're a moment. Everything, this too shall pass. So yeah, just keep your eye on the prize, even in the downtime, and have a good support system. You'll get there.
Well, I mean, you got to think about this too, and let's go this route too. This is the third year you've won an award, correct? In a town that you were not born in, and I think that's where a lot of people born and raised here are like, I live here, I should be, given this, I should be given that, I should be winning this, I should be winning that. I'm born and raised here, and I won shit like that before, other than Rising Star. But I'll give it this. Rising Star is one person that they give the award to because of how they built that business. So it's, that person, right? So, but in this aspect where you came to our town and you've done some great things here, brag about yourself. What award was it? And talk about the whole thing about it. I loved it.
Okay, so we just won Best Marketing Agency in New Braunfels. It's actually for the second year in a row.
Oh, second year.
Yeah, second year in a row.
I'm already talking.
But we're manifesting for next year. We're manifesting for next year. Yes.
Going for the three-peat.
Yes, going for the three-peat. So yeah, I mean, listen, I'm just gonna be, if I can just brag a little. I mean, we 100% deserved it.
Even though you ain't wearing one.
Yeah, we deserved it. I think when it comes to social media marketing, there's no one doing it like the way we are. Yes, I mean, I love my Momentum Media guys. They're amazing. They do really cool stuff. And there are other guys that do what they do, right? Like full respect, but we're not in that lane, right? We're social media management. We don't do commercial quality stuff. We're just like, your day-to-day social media stuff. And yes, there's other agencies, especially the ones that were in the categories with me, but I just don't think they're on our level. Sorry, guys. You'll get there, though. Oh, God. Cut that out.
No. Hold on. No. Look. You can't. Yes, I understand. And look, I don't want to break your funk on this, but I even wrote this down because I follow you, Tammi. And can I be real? And if we need to, we can cut this out.
Yeah, okay.
But you always say what you want about it. I personally don't like when you say that. Because you're allowing somebody to say something about it. And that's almost what you're doing right now. Like, just be confident in what you're doing, because it's literally, you have paper that shows that you're getting this shit done.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe I'll be real with you, and this is just your personality, because I'm an asshole too, Tammi. But I think it's just the way that you deliver it sometimes that people may think that. But overall, you did it. So, like...
Yeah. Definitely.
Flowers, girl. Flowers.
Well, I do appreciate that. But again, I'm literally just a girl. I think it's just me trying to be like humble. I don't want to come up. But yes, you're right. I mean,
brag.
We totally deserved it. We campaigned really hard for it. I know the quality of service that I'm providing for my clients, and I know it's top tier. I know what my clients have said about me. I know how talented my creators are. We definitely are the best. And I'm so thankful that the community has, to me, when I won the first year, it very much felt like they're finally accepting me into this community, because I was very scared, and this town very much is like local. Go back where you came from. I'm like, hey, I'm the girl next door. I just came from San Antonio. I'm right up the street. I didn't come from another state or anything like that. But still, it was scary, like putting myself out there saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. So it took me a minute to be confident to like get myself out there. So when I was nominated the first time, I cried because I was like, wow, like I'm finally being accepted into this community. So it feels really great to like go the next year, because then it just feels like every year I'm really solidifying myself into this community. But I do still get scared, and I'm not gonna lie, I do feel some from certain people where I'm not accepted just yet. And I don't know if it's necessarily because I'm not from here, I'm not a local, and that's okay. Like not everybody has to, whatever. They don't have to like me, but they need to respect Social House and what we're doing here, because I think my goal is just to be of service to the small business community, and I know that I'm doing that goal.
Yeah.
I'm reaching that goal, and that's all that should matter. I'm just here to help people.
I really like how you just said that. You have to respect Social House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's many people out there that, I don't have to tell them, hey, you have to respect me. No,
Right.
It's not about me. It's about what we've done and what it does for other people.
Correct.
That's what you have to respect, right? And so, because again, let me go with this. Born and raised here. My dad, middle class, whatever, hardworking guy, went to work every day. Mom did her part of it as well, being a mom and working her thing, But my point is I grew up in this town seeing it all. Whether you had a lot of money, well, guess what? I played basketball and I saw a lot of money be thrown around. I see the football, PTA bullshit. People coming into this town, moving here. This has been for years. Moving here, have money, and all of a sudden they're starting quarterback or their kid's the top player, this and that. It starts there, and then they bring a business into this town. And so now the way they just put their kid in a way, they do that because they've already done that in business in this town. So they feel like because they got more money, they can treat certain people a certain way. So that's when we mean as a local, like, dude, quit coming here and doing and being those people.
Right.
Like,
Right.
we were here first, and just because you got money and you got a business and because you're doing this and that, yeah, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you are having, and this is just my brain, I don't give a shit who's watching this and what you say, but my brain says you're an asshole and you shouldn't be that way. You should come
Right.
here to want to bring your family, because since day one, I've always said that this town is a family-oriented town. Bring your family here, come build a business. Don't be an asshole like all of
Right.
us say. And just, be part of the community. Give your volunteer, give your money to great events and communities and nonprofits. And, I'm part of the Mill Street Youth Center, and I've been doing stuff with them. And I see a lot of faces that have been in this community for years, but I'm seeing a lot of new faces, right? And I don't, at the end of the day, that's where your money should be talking. Like, come give to these events in these communities so people like myself and the kids that I'm coaching this whole week can utilize that to be
Right.
better people. So I kind of get I know exactly what you mean by that, Tammy. We've had this talk off camera before,
Right.
and it's a little scary off camera. But but my point is, again, dude, be proud of what you've done.
Thank you.
Not everybody is gonna accept the things that you're doing and the way you're doing it.
Yeah.
But so be it,
Yeah.
There's a lot of us that have
No,
wrong
I
ways.
get it.
You know
I
what
mean, if you ask my team, they'll tell you I don't celebrate my wins very much because I'm just like, okay, let's just keep moving to the next thing. So I don't like to just stop. I mean, I know I should just kind of celebrate the small things and just so I can really. But for me, I compartmentalize a lot, and I'm just like, I know I just got to keep moving forward because there's always going to be something else coming up and coming up and coming up. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like, especially with me in the spaces that I'm in, people are always like, "This guy's an asshole," but I'm really not.
Are you locally from here too?
Yeah, I was born here,
Oh, okay. So y'all both okay, cool.
Yeah.
and it's different because I'm just like, I tell the truth and I tell how it is. You may not like it,
Yeah.
then quit doing stupid shit.
Yeah. See,
You
the
know?
difference is that though y'all are men, so it's easy for y'all to do that. But when a woman comes and starts acting like, and this is just, it is what it is.
it
Women
is.
in business know this. It's just we're judged a little differently, so it's hard to because they'll be like, well, she's a bitch, whatever. It's okay
Right.
for a man to be an asshole, but it's not really okay for a girl to be a.
I
What do you
get-
think?
I get what you mean by that, but I think that's just the world that you're allowing your head to accept. That's all it is, I think.
So I have two daughters. One's 24 and one's 14, and I've always told them, stand on business.
Stand on business,
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
like Justin
Yeah.
Bieber.
Yeah, there you go. Look at him, he's like, what? I'm just agreeing right now. Not just playing.
Wait, you didn't see that?
No. I do. No, you do guys stand on me. He was telling us more points. What's
You
up?
gotta
Like, get the
stand
fuck,
on
you know, it's
business.
gotta be
Yeah.
days, man. You know.
No, when I need to, I will. When I need to, I will.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to fire clients before because they're not a good fit for Social House. So,
Yeah.
but I will say when I have to do stuff like that, I have to tap into a masculine side, a masculine energy. I was just talking about this yesterday. I think women operate in feminine like all the time, but doing those kind of things, we have to tap into kind of what you guys have and be a little bit. Does that make sense to you?
Go ahead, Steven.
Absolutely.
I'll go after you.
And obviously, I don't understand where you're coming from because I've never had that problem.
You're not literally just a girl.
I'm not literally just a girl. But I've seen it, like I've seen men, where my oldest daughter works or was trying to get a job somewhere or trying to do something, and the guys act up like me. I'm just like, bro, we'll handle this shit right here. And women can't do that. And it sucks, but I wish more women would be like, no, you're going to respect my business. You're going to respect the name.
Yeah.
And if you got confused, look behind me. I got these 2 awards back to back for receipts.
There you go.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and I think again it's all about just that person, man.
Yeah.
We talked about the other day about John Cena, the way he was followed by a car and by fans and pulls over and tells the guys like, hey man, this is wrong what you're doing, but what do you want? You just want an autograph? Well, if I sign your autographs, I'll turn the other way. Because again, what you're doing is wrong. I have my wife in the car. I'm with my friends. He doesn't go with security, and that was the big thing. That was the big conversation was he doesn't have security. Anytime you see John Cena out, he's always kind of by himself, or he's with friends, and he doesn't want to be bothered, right? So that's the part of it too. Is like he believes that they had asked him like, dude, you get out of the car. We're like, what do you mean? Like, what if they did something? He's like, well, I just believe in humanity. Like, I just want to hope and think that humans are just gonna be good. And so what I mean by what I'm going with that is like sometimes it sucks because we just want to hope people are going to think good about it, but they're not, and that's the scary part of it, I think, over it all. And who are you placing yourself in front of it? I don't know if you've noticed. I mean, obviously I post things on social media, but as of late, like I really stay away from personal things now because I can't handle people no more. Like I physically and mentally do not want to deal with people anymore. Like I don't. And it sucks because now people are missing out on the things that I can offer them on social media, whether it's encouragement or advice or even just learning off of me as a jabroni, like who I am. Like people should want to do that, but I stopped that now in ways. Yes, I'm still vulnerable in podcasting and things like that, but people lost that from me and I'm not giving that back for right now because you're now giving me back the negativity in a way to where I can't even be me. I can't be myself. And now I can't even be myself when I go out and drink because people are, and I love this. Don't get me wrong, people. I'm not being a mean about this. Like I love that people come talk to us about our business and the podcast and stuff. But the other annoyance of hearing that somewhere then brings that feeling elsewhere, and that sucks because now I don't even want to be around people. Is what has been happening lately this past year and a half. So it kind of sucks, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's where I try to encourage, like you were saying, like, no, brag about it. But in some ways, some
Same
people
to you,
aren't gonna
man.
like
Don't
it,
let
right?
the assholes get you
Oh, yeah,
down,
no,
brother.
no,
Like,
yeah,
don't
no.
let them make you stop, like, being
Yeah.
you and showing up online. But it is scary. I mean, my team keeps telling me I need a personal brand. I need a personal brand, which I do. But I've had it on private for so long, which is my other account on Instagram.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to a point where I feel like, okay, I'm ready to merge the two, because I had always felt like I can't be this like free spirit, wild Sagittarius Tammi, dancing in all the things, and be this
Social
like
media.
social, running this agency, boss girl, professional. Like I thought that people were gonna judge me like on what I'm doing on the, outside of work.
Yeah.
And so I always kept it private, and my page, like you couldn't see it. But 3 years in, I'm like, actually, I can because I am doing it. I literally been doing it. And I think I should show people like I can still be this person at night or off, on off hours, but still be this bad bitch on the on hours, like it's
Absolutely.
fine.
love it.
Yeah, I think you can. I mean, and I encourage it too as well.
As a business coach, I tell people that all the time. Like, mix it.
Yeah.
The people need to see that you're a real person. You know, now,
It's scary.
yeah, like now they don't need to see like the bad side, of
Right.
you, you know, but at the same time, you're real. And it's crazy because sometimes, like, I'll hop on a coaching call and people will be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm talking to you." I'm just like, "It's just me," you know. But they're just like, "Oh, but I see you," and now that does get crazy because they're just like, "Oh, I saw you at the, you know, at your pool in your house," and I'm just like, "All right, creeper." You know?
Yeah, no, I think really hope that you do that, Tammy. 'Cause
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
And I'm glad that you said that too, because you know, I feel that, you know, I've been really cool with you and your husband, and wanted to feel that. Maybe hopefully I can tell you that one day, but you said it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what you probably should do, and that'll branch out
Oh, yeah.
many different
More
things out of you. Yeah, more
opportunities, for
opportunities.
sure.
Because let's be real, like we chatted a little bit, and you were at an event yesterday, right? And I love that. I would have done the same shit, by the way. Like, I'm having drinks in the middle. I don't give a
Yes,
fuck.
hell
But
yeah.
there's some jabroni ass people out there. Maybe the assholes that we were talking about. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to hire her. She drinks during the day." Well, let me surprise you by something. You know how many
Yeah.
entrepreneurs and business people have a drink, a scotch, you know, or
Oh,
during the
yeah.
day? Fuck yeah, you
Bro,
need that
yeah.
sometimes,
The big
right?
dogs are drinking
Yes.
whiskey.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
exactly,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, no, but at the same time, you got to learn to separate it. You know,
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm an advocate for THCA in a way. You know, I love it, but I can't do it on camera.
Yeah.
But off camera, I love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And people are learning that about me, but I can't do it. You know why? Because I love to work with kids. And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have a lot of kids that I work with them, and they've hit my heart. I've hit their heart, and I'm not gonna let that because something I want to. That's a hard part, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can do it with my friends. I can be an advocate elsewhere whenever, we're trying to beat a bill, whatever the hell's going on. I can do that elsewhere, right?
Yeah,
So I think it's just
definitely.
one of those things that I would encourage you to do as well.
For sure, because
know?
also if they have that attitude about like me having a drink, then I don't want them to be my
Yeah,
clients.
exactly.
Like
They're
those
not-
are
but
not
they're
the
not your
people who
client.
I want to work with.
Cool.
Honestly, I was with one of my clients last night. That's why I'm slightly
Yeah.
hungover today because I'm smooging my clientele. Right? Is that
Yeah.
the word? You smooge? Like I don't know, but like you kind of have to do that. My clients have I've gone out with my clients. Some of my clients prefer to meet with me over a beer. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
especially
exactly. Yeah.
the men especially.
Yes.
So I have to be able to go toe to toe to that, and I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you have a beer and I'm not. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to have a beer too. But yeah, so those are my people, and I think
Yeah.
we've done 3 years in. We're doing a really good job with our attraction marketing of attracting the right people to us who are a good fit for Social
good.
House, and if they have that attitude, I'm like,
And again, so and also going off of that is like, just because you do that, if you take that away from what you've been posting and somebody sees that that's not the situation, that's going to help your employees.
yeah,
Right? Because that kind of separates you. Like, even though you want to be who you want to be, and you're showing that aspect of it towards business, your employees are going to gain out of that because now you've kind of separated that. You know what I mean? You kind
Yeah.
of say like, yeah, I don't want to work with them, but even though you don't want to work with them, it's going to help your employees, I think, at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
that's something I had to learn too with Johnny with this. Like, there's times where, I shouldn't have. That's why I stopped being on stage with Jesse and John, just Jerry and Jesse, because I didn't want to be that guy anymore. So I can focus elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I still could be that guy, but that's going to ruin things for people that want to hire their kids.
Right.
And this did happen, which made me question it. I was on stage with Jesse one night. We're having a good time. I'm having a good time. You're on stage. I'm emceeing. And one of the parents brought their kid, saw me on stage the following week. Kid was gone. Never heard from him ever again. Find out 3 weeks later, they didn't want me to coach them because that's the nightlight that I have. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I didn't. One, I learned quickly. That kid was a great, talented kid, but I'm still not going to change for anybody.
right,
Right.
exactly.
I'm still not going to change for
Right.
him. But I learned how that affected
Right.
my
I mean,
my
I
thinking.
I pulled back on going out a lot in New Braunfels. It's such a small town. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is get wasted somewhere. Not that I do. My body can't handle that anymore. But like in the beginning, I was going out a lot, and it's just kind of all the same places. I'm like, okay, I don't want to become a regular, but also I felt like, well, I have a reputation now. I have a business. I can't like go get sloshed or God forbid get, in trouble of any kind. So I had to kind of adjust, same.
Yeah.
So
I hate when people say that. Don't get me wrong, it is maturing, but you know what I see it as?
evolving.
Correct. And our businesses are getting to a point where you're like, you know what? I can't even do that anymore if I wanted to. because I got to do shit the next day.
Right.
But the body can't handle it.
Yeah, we don't got it like that.
I can't do that anymore either. Yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, Tammi, I appreciate you opening up about those things, and I think maybe this will open up some people's eyes and be like, she is a regular bad bitch. You know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
And I think that as well.
For sure.
But at the same time, I don't agree with some things that Johnny says sometimes. There's some things that I don't agree with. Some of my coaches that help me say sometimes. But that's their personality. I'm a sailor sometimes at practice, but I'm not cussing at the kids. I'm cussing towards a situation.
Right.
And some parents don't like that, but they're still there because they see the big picture. And I think that's what a lot of people need to see it in their own aspect of business, their own aspect of life, of things like that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm glad that you're open-minded to that stuff
Definitely,
too.
too.
Yeah.
And I would say, in my industry, in being in social media, the client should be happy that I'm high energy and positive attitude, because you need that to be creative. All creators have a certain energy about them.
And you think outside the box.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
you
first
do.
time I ever reached out to you is when I did the little AI image when you
Oh,
were there at the
yeah.
circle, like holding up the sign.
I made another version of it at the Pearl, so we're going to be posting that soon. Did you
Nice.
see that at the roundabout with the sign?
I didn't get to see that one.
I did.
Really?
That was a fun one. So
Yeah.
we're gonna. My thought. Well, I'm not gonna tell you my idea because I'm.
Yeah. There you go. Don't do it yet. You got something coming soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something coming soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
No.
So with that being said, Tammi, where can we follow you, your business, all that good stuff?
Okay, so we are Social Haus Media _ on all platforms. So Instagram, TikTok, and then Facebook is just Social Haus Media. So yeah, all the same everywhere. I'm really excited. I finally got it all uniformed and aligned everywhere. So we got some exciting things coming up. I think we're going to do a social media workshop pretty soon.
Nice.
Open that
Nice.
up to the public so people can come and learn from us. So stay tuned for that. And again, we're kind of still on a high from winning this second year in the row
Yeah.
best marketing.
Second year in a row.
Second year in a row.
Second year, sorry
Exciting.
about that,
So
yeah.
thank you to
Some
the
respect
community
on it.
for supporting us and voting us.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. All right, man. Steven, you got anything else, brother?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. I love the energy. I love what you do. I've been following you for a little bit. Obviously, I'm going to keep continuing.
Yes, thank you.
And let's go for that three-peat.
Yes, definitely.
right.
Thank y'all for having me. It's always
There you go.
an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Tammy's been on other episodes with us. I mean, obviously the Kick Rocks podcast, and we have some fun on there. And I love to have you back for one of those again, because
Definitely.
I'm not saying we can't be free here. This is a business podcast, you know what I mean? But I love that other side of you. We hang out, we got some reels out there, some fun that we've had before. So, guys, make sure to follow us on Social Plug Media, on YouTube, on everywhere, on all the platforms. We're getting out there. Steven's been a huge asset with Goat Media. Go ahead, go. Tell them where they can find you. Tell them where they can find you.
Gomez Media. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube.
Now he has
Give
nothing
him
to
his
say.
flowers
Yeah, there
now.
you go. Well, that's what I'm saying. This guy's killing it. He's teaching us a lot of stuff about AI. He can teach you a lot about AI and your business and help you skyrocket your business. And I'm not saying that's why he's here. We love his presence as well and all that stuff. But at the same time, he's here to help us grow, and you're going to see that. So follow us and see everything we got going on here at Social Plug Media. And you are watching the Rise and Win show. There's Steven. There's Miss Tammi Solis. And it's your boy, your jabroni, J-Rock. We're out, guys. Y'all have a great week, and we'll see y'all soon.